Hi, and welcome to Razz Reviews, where I will be giving my own opinions and my own thoughts on movies that are out in the cinema right now. And I will tell you whether or not you should watch them in the cinema, or wait for them to watch them at home, or not even watch them at all. My first review is going to be about Captain America Civil War. Captain America Civil War is a comic book fan dream. It is a great movie, and it's such a great installment in the MCU. I enjoyed this movie to the max. I watched this movie in a cinema theater in Dubai, and the crowd was going nuts. And this wasn't the cool kids crowd at 7 or 8 p.m. or in the premiere. This was a crowd at 4 p.m. on a Friday afternoon, and the cinema was full and we were all losing our minds. This movie is great. It's fun, it's action-packed, it has a great story, it has great character motivations, it has a great plot line, and it's, most of all, absolutely super fun. You will have a great time in this movie if you are a fan of this genre. Going into this movie, I was honestly worried because of my expectations, especially after Batman vs Superman. Some people liked Batman vs Superman, some people did not. Not a fan. So going into Captain America Civil War, I was afraid that it was going to have similar problems, and I was afraid that I wasn't going to like it. The original Civil War comic was really dark, and there were a lot of consequences, and the stakes were super high. And I was concerned because the Marvel Cinematic Universe has kind of a happy, cheerful tone. It's not very dark, it's not very gritty, so I was afraid that it's going to treat the source material as a joke, and I thought that the fighting was going to be more like However, I was super wrong. The stakes are definitely high. People are definitely trying to kill each other. It's still fun. It's not broody. It's not depressing. You have a lot of fun with these characters, but at the same time, they are really fighting. There is real conflict in there that you can actually engage in and enjoy, and it keeps you invested. Now I'm going to state my top 3 favorite things that I liked about Captain America Civil War. Number 3, character introductions. This movie tries to introduce new characters into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it does so successfully. Unlike other movies that didn't do it successfully. It definitely was not it wasn't a little YouTube video on an email chain where people happen to be caught on camera. Characters are actually introduced. You actually get to know them. You will like them. You will very likely love them. I love them. Number 1, Spider-Man. This is the best iteration of Spider-Man in film ever. He is the Spider-Man from the comics. He's a nerdy little guy who just happens to get superpowers. And I didn't think I would say this, but I cannot wait to see the next Spider-Man movie. The other character that was introduced is Black Panther. Black Panther is super badass. The cool thing about Black Panther is he had his own plot throughout the movie. He had his own character arc, yet it did not deter away from the story of the film. It's not like, oh, we have to pause now the story and go look at Black Panther and enjoy his story, and now we're back in the... No. It was completely meshed. It completely worked together with the storyline of Civil War, and it was absolutely seamless. I was so happy that we didn't see an origin story, because we don't need to. We all know who Spider-Man is. Every time we see a new iteration of a comic book character, for some reason we have to re-watch his origin story, even though we know it. We've seen it. We only saw it a few years ago. I swear to God, if I see those pearls fall on the ground in slow motion one more time, just one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind. So it was smart, it was fun, it was precise, it was great. Number 2, action sequences. You go into a Marvel movie, you know you're about to see some kick-ass action scenes. You know that for a fact. And this movie, of course, not only is it not an exception, it has arguably one of the best comic book action sequences ever in history. Period. Ever. That airport sequence that you see in the trailer, you see like a tiny bit of it. You haven't seen anything. Other action sequences are filled with emotion. They are so intense. You watch them and you're at the edge of your seat. You don't know what's gonna happen. Somebody might die. You don't know. There are so many comic book to movie shots in this movie, and it's beautiful. It translates so well. The number 1 thing I liked about Captain America Civil War is the character motivations. The thing that this movie needed to pull off, and pulled off amazingly, is the motivations of this character. When you have 2 heroes that need to fight each other, they need to actually clash, you need to be convinced of why they are clashing, because you're supposed to like both of them. This is not a classic hero versus villain. No, these are 2 heroes, 2 people with 2 ideologies that you are supposed to like, and when they clash, you have to understand why they did it. Otherwise, you are not invested. You are not gonna care. You can't just have a random reason that doesn't make sense. Martha! You completely understand Captain America, and you absolutely understand Tony Stark, and you know why they are fighting. And you might be on either side. I personally was Team Captain America because I believe in what he believes in. Every member of every team had a reason to be there, had a motivation. It makes sense, you know? You're invested. You're not just sitting there, okay, whatever, they're fighting. No, you actually are watching it. You're invested. You're like, okay, I get where these people are coming from. When Captain America and Iron Man are fighting, you don't want either one of them to lose. You don't want either of them to win. And it's amazing. And it's really hard to pull off. And I can't believe they pulled it off in this movie. It was a total shocker for me. No movie is perfect, and you will always like things about them and not like certain things about them. So now I will count the top 3 things that I did not like about this movie. The number 3 thing I did not like about this movie is the prison, or the raft. Now in this movie there's the raft in the middle of the ocean where all the heroes are sent to. I personally did not think that prison was necessary. I know that they are trying to mirror the negative zone that was in the comic where all the heroes are sent. It didn't need to exist. I mean, if the heroes were arrested and sent to a normal maximum security prison, it honestly would not have made a difference. So it wasn't my favorite thing. The number 2 thing I did not like about the film was some plot conveniences. Sometimes things happen and they flow naturally and characters are where they're supposed to be for a reason, and sometimes you feel like the writers are kind of pushing them to be there, and it's really convenient that everybody happens to be in that particular place doing this particular thing for the story to move forward. I don't like this thing. It's kind of a nitpick for me. And in this movie I felt there was sometimes some plot conveniences where characters ended up where they ended up and things happened kind of in a too neat way. I don't want to spoil the movie for you, but sometimes I felt there was too much plot convenience. The number 1 thing that I did not like about the movie is Baron Zemo, or the villain. Now, you don't know much about Baron Zemo in the trailer, so I'm not going to spoil too much, but he's generally the person behind the scene manipulating things, kind of like Lex Luthor in Batman vs. Superman. I wouldn't say I hated him. I liked him in the movie. I thought he was pretty effective in what he wanted to do, but generally I felt like he was replaceable. I mean, I kind of felt like he was shoehorned into the movie. Again, like the raft, if he's completely removed from the movie, it wouldn't matter. The strength of the film is not the villain or the heroes versus the villain. The strength of the film is the inner demons of the 2 characters and what forces them to clash in such a way and how their friendship degenerates. The villain was there, he pushed them in certain ways. It made sense, but if you completely remove him from the movie and if you kind of have things happen on their own, you don't really need him. So I thought that he's not that important. And a lot of people actually didn't like him as well, so I kind of put him at number 1 for that reason. So, should you watch Captain America Civil War? This is the part where I tell you if you should watch it in the cinema, if it's worth your time, or should you just watch it on your laptop or any form of at-home entertainment that you may choose. Captain America Civil War is definitely worth watching in the cinema. I watched it twice, and I actually do recommend you watch it more than once, because the first time around you watch it, there's just so much happening, it's so exciting that you kind of get lost in your own nerdgasm. I was watching this movie like this. Oh my god, this is so great. And then the second time around I actually sat down, ate my popcorn, and watched the movie. There were a lot of things that I noticed in the second viewing that I didn't in the first. For example, the second time I saw it, I actually felt more sympathy for Tony Stark than I did in the first film. The first time I was like, yeah, Captain America, yeah! But like, I kind of felt more for him, I felt bad for him. Generally, I felt more emotion the second time I saw it. It's a beautiful looking movie, it's such an exciting event. You definitely need to go watch it in the cinema. Do not miss this movie. I will score movies out of 10. So for me, Civil War, I will score it 9.5 out of 10. So, did you watch Civil War? Did you like it? If you have, please go into the comment section and let me know what are your top 3 things that you liked about the movie and the top 3 things you did not like about the movie. Also, feel free to let me know if there's any movies that you would like me to review for you, and I will make sure that I do. I hope you liked my first video of Razz reviews. Feel free to subscribe and watch some more reviews coming your way real soon. See you!